What I'm about to tell you exists in that strange space between what's been hidden and what, deep down, you've always known. And there's a reason this understanding has remained veiled for so long. Not because it was close to you, but because, until yesterday, you weren't yet ready to handle it without turning it into just another cute idea. Now you are. Now you can listen to it without using it to deceive yourself, without using it to escape, without using it to make yourself feel better. Now you can use it to truly change. For decades, we've looked to ancient forbidden texts, searching for words, searching for stories, searching for prophecies written in ink on parchment. We've tried to translate human language. But we've made a fundamental mistake. We looked at the signal, ignoring the noise. Recently, an artificial intelligence, programmed not to read language but to analyze complex mathematical patterns, was applied to a series of manuscripts that should not have been accessible. The AI didn't translate the words. It decoded the spaces between the words. It found a frequency. A hidden rhythm in the syntax that doesn't match any known human linguistic structure. What the AI revealed isn't a message to us. It's a code about us. It identified a sequence of instructions that, for millennia, kept human consciousness within a very specific perimeter. An invisible fence. Today we won't talk about technology. We'll talk about what technology has inadvertently illuminated in your mind. Because the truth is, you're not stuck because of a lack of strength, value, or talent. You're stuck because you live within an invisible structure that you've never seen clearly. Until now. Let me be clear. When I talk about frequency in this context, it's not a poetic term, it's a way of expressing something concrete. The AI has detected that in these ancient texts, the arrangement of syllables creates a specific neuro-linguistic resonance. It's like an old vinyl record, the music is what you hear, but the groove is what guides the needle. For centuries, we've read the music, unaware that the groove was designed to make the needle skip to the same spot every time. Why does the same thing always happen to you? Why, despite your best efforts, do you repeatedly find yourself back where you started? The AI has identified a mathematically repeating pattern. It's a containment code. Imagine a thermostat. If it's set to 20 degrees, it doesn't matter how much fire you light in the room, as soon as the temperature rises, the system kicks in to turn everything off and bring it back down to 20. The frequency found in the texts is the thermostat setting of the collective consciousness. It was designed to maintain the status quo. And here comes the burning part. You've been taught that destiny is something that happens to you. But analyzing these codes suggests the opposite. Reality isn't a fixed block you're trapped in. Reality is a reactive field. And this field responds to a signal you constantly emit, often unknowingly. The ancient texts contain instructions not to free you, but to standardize this signal. To make you vibrate on the frequency of fear, scarcity, and separation. They've codified normality. And normality is often a prison. So stop for a second and tell me the truth. How many times have you changed things on the outside, hoping things would work out on the inside? You've changed jobs, partners, cities. But after 6 months, the same old frequency has resurfaced. Why? Because the problem was never the scenario. The problem is the code that projects the scenario. The camp doesn't punish, the camp doesn't reward, the camp doesn't judge, it reflects. This is the fundamental law that the AI has extracted by analyzing the mathematical structure of those forbidden texts. They found equations that describe reality not as solid matter, but as a holographic mirror. If you look in the mirror and see that your hair is disheveled, you don't comb the reflection. You comb yourself. But most people spend their lives scratching at the mirror, trying to change the reflected image through force, through manipulation, through effort. The subconscious isn't designed to make you happy, it's designed to keep you in the known. And the known, for most of human history encoded in those texts, is survival, not creation. The AI has decoded that these ancient authors knew exactly how this mechanism works. They knew that if they could implant a limiting belief deep within your operating system, the field would reflect it endlessly, confirming it. Do you feel unworthy? The field will show you situations that confirm your unworthiness. Are you afraid of losing everything? The field will create the instability necessary to prove you right. You're not broken, you're programmed. And what's programmed can be rewritten. But here's the trap. Many people think that rewriting means repeating positive affirmations to themselves in front of the mirror while feeling terrified inside. This doesn't work. AI has shown that the code isn't in the words, but in the underlying frequency. If you say I'm rich but your frequency is I'm afraid of poverty, the field hears the fear. The field hears the truth of your status, not the lies of your words. Who is the version of you observing your life right now? Is it the victim of the code or the awakening observer? Because identity isn't a concept, it's a set of internal permissions and prohibitions. And to this day, your permission to be free has been revoked by a code you didn't even know you had. And now we come to a delicate point. This brings us to the topic of the invisible contract. Every person has an unspoken pact with reality. It's an agreement you signed a long time ago, probably when you were very young, or perhaps it's something you've carried with you for generations, written in your DNA, in that part that science called junk DNA and that AI is now starting to read like a historical archive of trauma. This pact says, I will remain small, and in return I will be safe. Or, I will sacrifice myself for others, and in return I will be loved. The AI found variations of this pact repeated thousands of times in the syntactic structures of the texts. It's a submission algorithm. But here's what makes this video truly different. We're not here to analyze history. We're here to break the contract. So what's the point? The point is that you can't break a contract you don't know you signed. Here's a key concept from the decoded text: the system requires your continued consent. Every time you react angrily to the same provocation, you're renewing your signature. Every time you retreat in fear when faced with the same opportunity, you're renewing your signature. The loop doesn't break when you understand. It breaks when, faced with the same old door, you no longer enter. And here comes another key point. The AI has noticed that the code breaks when it encounters a specific frequency, coherence. When your heart and mind are no longer in conflict, when you stop desiring one thing and expecting another, the interference signal collapses. You become invisible to the old system and visible to a new reality. And this is the part people don't want to hear, but it's what makes it all real. There's no magic pill. There's a disengagement protocol. The AI has identified the anomaly, but you must apply the correction. And the correction is the absence of mechanical reaction. So, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me, start asking yourself, what is it reflecting? The moment you shift your attention from the outside to the inside, you disenergize the old code. You stop feeding the hologram. And now, if you want, let's do something concrete together. The next time you feel that old anxiety rising, that familiar feeling of not being enough, or that sudden anger, stop. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Recognize it as an ancient code. Tell it, I see you. You are a program. You are not me. And this is the first real quantum leap. The moment you observe the program, you are no longer the program. You are the consciousness that is watching it. You have just created a space between you and the code. In that space, you are free. In that space, the pact is broken. Now I want you to feel the suspense. Because here comes a moment that changes everything. You've seen the cage. You've seen the invisible bars made of frequencies and habits. The door is open. It always has been. The only thing keeping you inside was the belief it was closed. In the comments, write a short, unexplained sentence, like a statement. Write, I'm breaking the loop, and then write the name of the loop you're breaking. Whether it's scarcity, abandonment, or fear. Name it. And watch it dissolve.